My previous video was about this iPod Touch on iOS 6 and to see if it was obsolete or not. Today, I'll be doing a video on this iPod Touch with iOS 7. Let's find out if this update makes this iPod any more useful in 2019. Okay, I'll be honest, I ran out of B-roll, but I have a good point here. Many features of this iPod do not work right, and as you can see on screen, I've got a little picture here that shows everything that works and everything that doesn't work. As you can see, there's quite a bit of things on this list. I hate having to do videos outside, but my sister's vacuuming, so that's perfect. So here it is, again, the iPod Touch 4th Gen. And we are going to, before I advise you that you do this at all, I'm just going to tell you my passcode here. I advise that you, first of all, you got to know what works and what doesn't, because there are a lot of things that flat out do not work with this device. Let's say you want to record something. So let's say, oh, I got my camera here. Let's open this up and switch to video mode here. You will find out immediately that the camera does not work. Neither camera works. I cannot flip it. It won't let me do that. Neither of them works. I don't understand why that is. I mean, they do use the same camera as the iPad. Nope, as the iPad 2, I think. Yeah, front-facing camera doesn't work, sadly. That's sad. You can see here, I've got the iPod Touch here, and you can see it's obviously got a speaker. The model had it. But you can see when I try to adjust my volume, well, there's no volume bar underneath. That is because sound does not work either, nor does the microphone. If you open up voice memos, you can see it is totally grayed out. You cannot click on it no matter what you do. That's just how it is for this iPod Touch with iOS 7. They are fixing stuff though. They were able to fix some things. Now there is a website that does state what works and what doesn't, but I found that some things are not accurate. Now there are several other things that don't work either. See the battery up here? It's always been at 100%. It doesn't change. It can detect when you plugged it in. It goes green obviously, but it cannot detect your battery charge. Along with, there are also some other things, like let's say I want to open the calculator here. Let's say I want to type in numbers and things here. Let's say I want to switch to scientific mode. I said scientific mode. As you can probably tell, scientific mode or anything flipping landscape does not work. Along with, there is a compass app on here on the iOS 7 IPSW. It doesn't work because this doesn't have a compass sensor. There's no way that that's going to work. They're going to probably get rid of that in a future update, that app. When I downloaded this IPSW from here, I'll put a link in the description or on the screen, one or the other. It did not have me go through a setup process when I used this iPod. So let's go over the things that do work with this iPod. Now, every app is stable, which is pretty good actually. Every app is completely stable. Even the passbook, which requires you to scan stuff with a camera. It's not completely stable because you hit scan code and it'll crash because it doesn't have a camera. So it has no idea what to scan and it'll just crash. That's the only app I found trouble with. Even the camera app works, even though there's no camera detected. So there's definitely that problem. What else works? Well, music would work if you could put music on here, but there would be no sound, so it would be pointless. Notes, reminders, those two work. Calendar and photos would work. Settings obviously would work fine. And that's sadly, I think, it. The calculator works as well. Newsstand, I think, would work if you had newsstands to put in that stuff in there. Then that would work fine. And all the buttons work as well. Like, let's say I turn the device off. Lock button, you saw that work. Home button, that works. And you saw me adjust the volume earlier. I'll unlock it anyways as I need to. You can see here, volume, the buttons work. Volume doesn't, but the buttons do work. So that works fine there. The control center works fine. These buttons don't do anything. It'll just give you an error. And the flashlight, it does turn on. Obviously, there's no flashlight on this iPod. So closing it and reopening it, you can see it just, come on. You can see that it just doesn't, stay on because there's no flashlight. Now, one more thing that I will mention that works is the display brightness. Yeah, you can adjust the display on here. That works. All the graphics and stuff work on this iPod because it is practically the same as an iPhone 4. That's the IPSW that it grabs it from. So that works pretty much okay. Everything in the settings, I think, works pretty okay besides anything Apple ID-ish. It even shows your correct serial number and everything else like that. So that's pretty cool. So you can see here, I can just scroll down here. Nike plus iPod, pretty sure that that will work if I turn it on. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this device. It's honestly amazing that someone could even put iOS 7 on an iPod like this. It's not ready yet for consumer use. I have a feeling it will be soon though. Such as Wi-Fi has been fixed on some models. Not this model, sadly. The crashing, it used to crash every 10 minutes. Just around every 10 to 15 minutes it'd crash due to a violation in the watchdog or whatever it's called. Some people aren't going to know what that is, but if you Google it, you'll find out. So there was a problem there. It would cause it to crash. They fixed that, obviously. I would not have put iOS 7 on here if it crashed every 10 minutes. There was a problem with the installation with iOS 7, and that is, let's say you need to restart your device. I'm not going to do it on camera, but you can see, obviously, the slider appears. It slides, like it can do it just fine. But the problem with that is that the device actually cannot boot on its own. You need a computer to reboot the device. That is an issue for now, as it cannot boot into the newer bootloader, I don't think, without a computer's assistance. It'll just give you a connect to iTunes screen. Okay, I forgot to record an outro here. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you all later. Bye guys.